What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here, and we hit legend with this very amazing team. I took a little siesta just to focus on my elo, but check this video out because my gosh, this team was absolutely busted. No, well, they're not crazy busted, but it got me to legend rank. So Skunk Tank on the lead. In comes a Cresselia, out comes my Shadow Charizard. Now, they did not build up to the future sight, so I'm not going to respect it. Just running the Moonblast, which is resisted due to our fire typing. They also have Grass Knot, which is going to be resisted, double resisted due to our flying and fire typing. So another Moonblast coming in. They shielded, so I will give up a shield here. I'm going to build up a lot of energy and throw on the CMP tie with the Blast Burn. Blast Burn is gonna almost one-shot. I think we can survive this Moonblast, but I decided to shield anyways, so I'm gonna farm up a boatload of energy, go for the Dragon Claw to knock out this Cresselia. In comes back the Skunk Tank, and I make a very crucial mistake here. My Shadow Charizard is very low on health. Some Rizzion in the back of it because I decided to swap out to try and keep my Charizard alive, which I shouldn't have done anyways because it's a very low health Shadow Charizard and it would have died to a couple of fast moves anyways. Now that I have the Rizzion on my Cobalion, and I'm gonna have to have my Cresselia on the Skunk Tank. Now that Skunk Tank has a lot of loaded energy, and it does have crunch to hit that Cresselia with super effective damage. Out comes the Skunk Tank. I'm gonna have to catch a move here, but can we do it? I throw multiple. They're just loading up a lot of energy. I think they have the back-to-back crunch, so I'm thinking about swapping. I throw one. Oh my gosh, I throw one too many, and the crunch is gonna knock us out. And that is very unfortunate. A very winnable game if I just would have let my Charizard go down. So, hopping into the next matchup here. A defense form Deoxys, absolutely brutal here with the counters doing super effective damage. So, I'm going to throw the Stone Edge here. And then I'm going to opt to swap out into my Cresselia. I know the Deoxys is probably not going to shield here because they're a very bulky Pokemon. They did not throw energy. Okay. This is not the best because Deoxys with energy, they could have Thunderbolt, they could have Rock Slide. And those are both moves that are going to almost OHKO that Charizard. We do draw out the Drapion, which is okay here. A second crunch does mighty fine damage. Not going to KO that bulky Cresselia. Going to Moonblast that Drapion. And can we reach the Grass Knot on the CMP tie? Opponent counting my moves very properly. So now I'm going to come in with my Cobalion. I'm going to go for a very aggressive farm down here. Crunch is going to be resisted, not enough to take us out. They don't get to a second one. I'm throwing the Stone Edge right away. I need them not to shield this, and they don't, but that is not enough damage for us to wing attack down. So I'm going to have to let this go. Thunderbolt is enough to KO. Out comes my Charizard. They're probably going to Psycho Boost and dip here because they have a boatload of energy. Out comes a Snorlax, and unfortunately, this is not going to be a winning game because Snorlax can safely tank that Blast Burn from a Shadow Charizard because Snorlax is bulky as sin. We are able to farm down, but from here, excuse me, all that Deoxys have to do is just counter it down. Doesn't matter how much energy we have, we are not going to make it to a third Dragon Claw. GG's to my opponent. So, can we pull this one and get a positive set here? Let's see. Walrein lead. Out comes a Heracross, and Shadow Charizard is gonna eat this Heracross. Gonna have to shield up the Rock Blast. Double super effective would absolutely destroy the Charizard. But now we have a boatload of energy for that Walrein. If the lag ever wants to see it come back in, because all I seen was one Powder Snow, and I threw one Wing Attack. Okay, we're gonna throw the Blast Burn. And now we lose CMP, but they must have gotten a lot of Powder Snows off. Icicle Spirit is not enough to KO. Dragon Claw comes in. That almost OHKOs. Out comes a Zapdos. Oh my gosh, it's a Shadow Zapdos. And this team is very spicy, everybody. Drill Peck coming in. That does some nice damage. We're just going to build up to the back-to-back Moonblast. All I need to do is get both shields here so that Cobalion can go for a very nice Stone Edge onto that Zapdos. and that wall rain is very low where a Sacred Sword is going to take it out, so I'm not too worried about a Earthquake either because we can survive one. Moonblast goes through, they quit the match, G to the G's. Next game here, Pidgeot lead, kind of more of a neutral matchup if you can land that Stone Edge, and I'm guessing they're going to go for the Feather Dance right away just to debuff us here. I'm going to throw one more double kick, and then I'm going to go for the Stone Edge. If they want to shield this, they can, but they decide not to shield that. I'm going to go for the Sacred Sword here just to get some nice damage off. And then I think I swap into my Cresselia. Yes, I swap into my Cresselia. Either to draw something out that Charizard is going to be weak to, which Galarian Stunfisk is a good Pokemon to draw out, because those rock slides are going to be hitting for double super effective damage, and Cobalion has a decent matchup against that that ground steel type known as Stunfisk. So Earthquake probably going to be coming in, not enough to one shot, and my switch clock timer is coming through. I didn't want them to gain enough energy where they could hit us with another Earthquake right away, so I think I decided to shield this up, which is such a miscount on my play because they just thrown the Earthquake and they did not have the energy for their Earthquake, so I don't think I needed to shield. That was kind of a big misplay on my end, but my opponent decides to give up a shield on the Sacred Sword. We take out the Pidgeot, back in comes the Stunfisk. We're able to make it through the Sacred Sword, and that is gonna put them in a very nice farm down range for Charizard. Up a shield, and we should be able to almost wing attack down. No, but we catch the Rock Slide on the Cresselia, and I do believe it's going to be a Registeel in the back. It is a Registeel, so Pidgeot, double steal. And we just kind of put this into a range where a Blast Burn is going to KO it, because they're probably going to go for the very aggressive farm down. And they're not going to get that easy with the double attack debuff from the Moonblast. My gosh, the luck was on our side today, everybody, because double attack debuff, which allowed us to get to a third move. Clock timer is coming out, doesn't matter. Blast Burn coming in, left, right, good night, Registeel. And that is going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Hopping into the next matchup. Pretty bad lead here. I can just go straight into my Cresselia, and my opponent's not swapping out either. So it's either they have another answer for Cobalion in the back, which they don't, or they didn't have a solid response to my Cresselia. So Grass Knot gonna be coming in. That does massive damage. They're gonna be throwing, I think this is just an Icicle Spear. There was no way that was enough for the Earthquake, and I'm gonna be throwing another Grass Knot, which was on CMP tie, but that does get the shield, which is very nice on my end. I am going to get to another Grass Knot. They did have enough for the Icicle Spear, but they wanted to bank more energy up. I decide to come in now with my Cobalion. Because our switch clock timers are misaligned and my Cobalion is not going to have the best matchup against that Virizion, so I might as well come in, get a little bit of use out of it, get the Sacred Sword off, and I'm going to be banking on the fact that they do not have Stone Edge. Oh, that was that crazy. Ooh. But two Sacred Swords are going to put us into a very low health, which is quite unfortunate. But they have no shields left. We have a freaking Charizard that's loaded on energy, but they have an Aurorus in the back. Okay, here we go. Dragon Claw. They tried to catch a move. We were very patient with our energy, building up to the back-to-back Dragon Claws. Going for the knockout here. Can we get it? Dragon Claw is not enough to KO, but we have two shields, and there was nothing the opponent could do there. GG's, well played to my opponent. Nice 3-2 set. Did we hit Legend in this set? Let's check it out right now. Oh, we are 8 points off of Legend. 9 points, sorry. Very bad. Hopping into the next matchup. Okay, pretty terrible lead here. We're not going to be hitting anything with super effective damage, and my opponent is just loading up on energy. So am I. I tried to catch, but my opponent was smart. Threw in the middle of my double kick, and it's the Earth Power. That does massive damage on the Cobalion. I now come in with the Cresselia. They come in with a tackle Greedent. Now, Greedent has been shown on Purple Kyogre's channel just recently, I think yesterday. So, very nice Pokemon there to have. Crunch coming in. That's not going to be enough to KO. I am going to get this Moonblast off. Hopefully, put this into a range where I can knock it out. Let's see. Oh, my opponent throws right before I get to the Grass Knot here. But I'm going to come in with the Cobalion. I'm going to throw the Sacred Sword. And the issue is that they still have 2 shields and a very healthy Nidoqueen. Shadow Nidoqueen at that. So I'm going to need to shield up the first Poison Fang because these Poison Jabs are going to absolutely start ripping us apart. I'm going to have to go for another Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw does get the second shield, and the unfortunate part is here, I don't think I have enough in the tank to take care of all these Pokemon. Because now the Obstagoon comes in. Dragon Claw does not do enough damage. I have a Sacred Sword locked and loaded, but it's not going to be enough. Oh my gosh, one double kick short of winning that game possibly and getting to that Sacred Sword to the Nidoqueen. So very good game by my opponent. Hopping into the next match. Oh my gosh, can these leads get any worse here? Another Nidoqueen lead here, but I'm going to farm up to 5, and then I'm going to catch, not really catch, but have them throw a move here on Cresselia, wasting a bit more energy, and I'm probably thinking they're going for another Poison Fang here. Poison Fang is going to debuff me, but then I could just go for the Grass Knot, get a little bit of chip damage off. It's not going to do a whole lot. It is neutral due to that poison typing and the ground typing. Grass is only going to be neutral. I wish I had Future Sight on this, but you're going to see this is why I don't have Future Sight, because oh my gosh, this is very nice to have Moonblast right here. Cobalion comes in, gonna be going for the Sacred Sword though. Left, right, good night, that Obstagoon. And does the Nidoqueen want to come back in? Yes, it does. It's gonna throw a move. I'm thinking this is gonna be the Poison Fang, which it is. Very nice. Sacred Sword gonna be coming in. Are they gonna shield it? No, they're not. It's a Scrafty in the back. So all they have to do is get a shield here. That's all I have to do. Oh, get 2 shields. I can let this go. I'm going to save 2 shields for Charizard. Power Up Punch comes through, and I'm not going to be able to make it to another one. So I think I come in with my Cresselia. Yeah, I come in with my Cresselia. They're not going to be able to Power Up Punch us all the way down before we get to a Moonblast, but they go for the Power Up Punch like a mad savage they are, and this Moonblast definitely is going to be getting the shield here, and all I have to do now is make it to a Blast Burn. 2 shield up Charizard is going to win us that game. GG's, well played. All I need to do is get 2 more wins here. So another Scrafty on the lead, and Cobalion has a decent matchup here, but the issue is that Scrafty is going to be ramping up that counter damage due to their power-up punches here. So I'm going to throw another Sacred Sword, and if I get the shield here, I'm going to swap right away into my Cresselia, and in the Cresselia we go. Out comes a Coffin, a Cofagrigus, and this is a Ghost type. Not the best matchup for Cresselia because they're going to be throwing the Shadow Ball, but the good news is here, Cresselia has so much bulk. It can take a Shadow Ball to the face, and they are not going to be able to farm us down before we get to a Grass Knot. So if they want to farm us down, they are going to be hit with the Grass Knot. And if they want to shield this, I'm totally fine with them shielding. Because now I'm going to come in with my Charizard. I'm going to go for a very aggressive farm down here. Dark Pulse is going to be coming. Oh, they go for the Shadow Ball. And I'm going to have to double shield my Charizard. I'm hoping that they're weak in the back. Let's see here. Scrafty comes in. Oh my gosh. Double combo play. Foul play is not going to be enough to knock us out, but we are going to be able to get the full wing attack down, and a loaded Charizard. What wants to come in? Oh my gosh, it's going to be a skunk tank at that. Blast Burn going to be coming in, ripping through that skunk tank. I'm going to come in with my Cobalion, not throwing energy. I had the Sacred Sword, but what I needed to do here was completely almost farm down with this Charizard. Maybe I could have thrown the move. Anyways, a wing attack down. That's going to be a GG's. Well played. That was close. Okay. I think I need to win this game. Oh no, there's two more battles. 2 more battles left. Okay. So, Alolan Muck in the lead. Not Alolan. Kanto Muck on the lead here. Gonna be throwing this Stone Edge. Gonna get some nice damage off. Honestly, that did about 40% of Muck's health. The double kicks are resisted, but these Stone Edges are gonna start adding up. And all they can throw is Thunder Punch because they have Dark Pulse as their second move. Thunder Punches don't do too much damage here, and I think from here I'm just gonna be able to double kick all the way down. We're just gonna have so much loaded energy. And what wants to come into that? Giratina wants to come in. Okay, see, I didn't throw the Stone Edge. I banked my Stone Edge for later. I came in with the Cresselia because the Cresselia does not have a bad matchup here. I mean, we can get 2 shields with the Moonblast, which would be very advantageous for us. So another Shadow Sneak coming in. I really debated on shielding this, but I am going to let it through. We are going to get to this Moonblast. I need them not to shield this because I need to get them into a range where either a Stone Edge is going to put them into a wing attack down, or I can go for a Dragon Claw and take them out and grab a shield. So I come in with the Cobalion. We're going to be throwing the Stone Edge here. That gets the shield, and that's perfect. That's all I need from my Cobalion. Dragon Claw is probably going to be enough to KO us, but all we have to do is come in with the Charizard. Out comes an Obstagoon, and oh my gosh, this game is over, everybody, because from here, all we have to do is no shield this. It's an Obstruct, and all we have to do is build up to the back-to-back Dragon Claws and go for the one Dragon Claw against that Obstagoon and go for a second against that Giratina, because Charizard is winning CMP all day, and that win right there, everybody, is gonna get us to Legend. Let's go. Last battle of the set. Cobalion into Drapion. Very solid lead for us. They come out into a Scrafty. I'm going to be throwing this Sacred Sword here. Probably going to be getting that shield, which is very nice. I come out with my Cresselia now. We're going to be hit with the Foul Play. Honestly, I was like riding a high. I just hit Legend that this game didn't really matter to me too much if I won or lost it. So that Moonblast just does an excessive amount of damage. Not one-shotting it, but putting it into a range where I can now Psycho Cut down. Hopefully get to this Moonblast to do some nice chip damage against that Drapion. And this is going to be put it into a range where I can probably double kick this Drapion down now without having to expend energy. So, but out comes a Jellicent, an invisible Jellicent at that. So Stone Edge is going to be coming through. This is probably, oh my gosh, it does not get the shield. That's insane. Gonna be shielding up this move here. I think this was enough for the Shadow Ball. It is a bubble Jellicent too, which makes the Charizard matchup a whole lot worse. And I'm gonna try and catch a move here, but unfortunately we don't get there. They do bait us with the Surf, and I'm going to be throwing the Sacred Sword, hoping to gosh almighty that they shield this, and they do. Out comes a Charizard. A Surf is going to be hitting us, and it is going to do a lot of damage. Not enough to one-shot, but enough to where that Drapion can come in. And I just waited the Switch Clock timer way too much, because now my Cobalion is not going to be doing enough here. Maybe if I was going to be able to farm up a boatload of energy here. And I think I undercharged this move way too much, because now I'm not going to be able to get to the farm down. If I just would have hit all the bubbles, I could have farmed him down, had a Stone Edge, locked and loaded, and taken that game. But anywho, that is going to be the game here. This is now my ELO. We are at 3001. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you've been watching this throughout the whole video, I will be doing kind of a live stream this weekend, and if you want help for your Go Battle Day, hit me up or comment on this video here, and I will be doing like a and then we'll coordinate on Discord. The first 3 people to kind of 2 more people I can do. So if you want, there that is. So I'll be helping you out on there. But thank you all so very much for watching. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been more focused on getting Legend, but thank you all again. I hope you appreciate the content. If you guys are liking the content, hit that like button, comment if you want to see anything in future, and like always, I'll see everybody in the next video.